Hey, Paul, congratulations for your retirement. Well, it's hard to believe that you finally retire. I remember the first time we met at the CFA. I was observing at Haystack, and it was the first time I was at the CFA. I met you and Nanjing there. And a bit later on, you managed to have some students from Barcelona to go to the CFA to complete their PhD. And these students, there's Miguel, Maite, Aina, Gemma, and later on as a postdoc, Oscar. What a list of names. Really, they are excellent professionals working on their own now. So it's a very fruitful cooperation between the Barcelona and the CFA. I remember having very good times at some restaurants. In Boston, having a dim sum at the Chinese district, the best dim sum of my life. And also in Barcelona, or near Barcelona in Valls, eating some calçots, the grilled sweet onions there. And really it has been extremely fortunate for me to have shared some time with you. For all this, thank you very much, Paul.
I always remember the first time we met was when I came out to Taipei, when I was looking for a home for my cosmic microwave background experiment, and we talked about possibly putting it on Mauna Loa. Anyway, that never worked out, but then later on, a few years later, we met again when I went all the way out to Vancouver Airport for a meeting to discuss the future of the JCMT. And we spent 2 days in Vancouver Airport, and that was the beginning of the East Asian Observatory takeover of JCMT. And you've been the driving force in that all the way through for the last 10 years almost now. We wouldn't be where we are today without you, Paul. You and your energy and your dedication and your ability to persuade people to do what's right, to do the best science. And I wish you a happy retirement. I don't believe that for 1 minute that you'll stop doing what you do, but thanks once again, and I hope that I'll see you again before you retire and swan off into the sunset. It's been a great knowing you, great fun, all the meetings we've been to and all the places we've been together. So thank you once again, Paul, for everything you've done.
Hey Paul, it's Alyssa. I'm so sorry I can't be there with you, but I just wanted to say happy birthday. Thanks so much for all you've done for our community, and thanks in particular for teaching me so much about ammonia. We all know it's still the best molecule. Thanks.
Dear Paul, today I'm honored to celebrate your distinguished career in astronomy and astrophysics. It's hard to believe how quickly time has passed since we first met. We met at a conference you organized in Massachusetts in the early 1980s. As a poor graduate student, financial constraints nearly prevented me from attending that meeting. I remember reaching out to you, hoping for some additional support, and in your generosity, you doubled the assistance, and I was able to go there. In the early 1990s, you began to work for the SMA as a project scientist. Radio astronomers in Japan at that time were considering whether to build a large millimeter and submillimeter array either in Chile or in Hawaii. Meanwhile, NRAO was also exploring constructing a US array in Hawaii. You orchestrated a pivotal meeting at the Smithsonian Castle. This meeting was crucial in determining the location of the next generation millimeter array in Atacama, which is ALMA. I moved to Hawaii in 1998 to work for the Subaru telescope, and saw you more frequently there. I cherish the memories of you visiting our home in Hilo. Your journey then took you to Taiwan as the director of ASIAA, succeeding Fred Lowe. Our interactions continued, particularly as you endeavored to lead ASIAA to join SMA and Subaru. Upon my move back to Tokyo in 2010, my trips to Taipei increased. We discussed the details about ASIAA's participation in ALMA. The ALMA collaboration has indeed cemented a strong partnership between Japan and Taiwan. United in our shared vision to bolster astronomical collaboration in East Asia, you played a central role in the inception of the East Asian Observatory. After I retired from NAOJ, I moved to Germany here, and our meeting chances have decreased. Yet, the energy and zeal I've always associated with you remain fresh, drawing from our shared memories over the past 4 decades. I'm just so grateful for the countless opportunities and memories you've provided me. So, with the most profound respect and admiration, I congratulate you on your remarkable career. Thank you very much, Paul, and see you soon again.
Hi, Paul. Congratulations every achievement, and thank you everything you done and doing for us. Aloha.
Dear Paul, I am delighted that this week you are commemorating your distinguished scientific career surrounded by numerous students and collaborators. I deeply regret I was unable to join you in person, so I have created this brief video to convey my heartfelt congratulations. Your scientific work has had a profound impact across various areas of astrophysical research. Your contributions have spanned from the study of molecules in the ISM, molecular clouds and H2 regions, to the explorations of stars and planetary systems, culminating in the groundbreaking images of supermassive black holes residing at the hearts of galaxies. Additionally, you have had a pivotal role in establishing the sub-millimeter array in Hawaii and also the Green Bank telescope as a crucial component of the Event Horizon telescope. These projects are a testament to your visionary leadership. Moreover, with your tireless efforts and your academic example, you have fostered the growth and cohesion of the Asian astronomical community. All of these remarkable achievements represent an admirable and Herculean endeavor. I remember when I first met you as a graduate student, possibly in a star formation workshop in Santa Cruz. You told me that your mission was to shoot down theories. Only later I understood that only by confronting theories with observations, one can advance in our understanding of the universe. I offer you my heartfelt congratulations for this well-deserved recognition of your exceptional academic journey. And I wish you many more years of continuing success in all your future projects. Enjoy your meeting. Bye.
I'm so glad that people are coming together to celebrate all of your achievements. You are so deserving. I just really appreciate everything that you've done for me and my family and my career. You've been wonderful, and it's been great getting to know you over the years. So best wishes and everything that you do from here on out, and congratulations. Aloha.
Hi, Paul. Congratulations on your retirement. I hope you really enjoy it. I have to say, honestly, it's really hard for me to picture you not jumping from plane to plane across the globe every 3 weeks. But I hope now you get to do it for pleasure instead of for work. I feel really lucky to have been one of your students. You're a terrific mentor, a PhD advisor, and you gave me a lot of opportunities to grow and learn. Not to mention that you were always super responsive when I tried to contact you, send you emails. Wherever you were in the world, I still believe you do not sleep, honestly. But also, I feel lucky because I think you're a very warm and welcoming person. You probably do not remember these, but when I first arrived at the CFA a few days after I was there, you came to me one day and asked me, are you okay? How are you adapting? Did you find a nice place to stay? I was fine. It was not my first time living abroad by myself, but you really wanted to know, and I really appreciated that. I have never had been asked that before, so thank you. Really, thank you. It made a difference for me. I felt like, wow, I'm in the right place with the right people. So thank you for being a terrific human being.
In the 1970s, Paul and I were physics grad students at MIT in the radio astronomy group led by Alan Barrett. Barrett had made the first radio detection of interstellar molecular gas in 1963 by observing the 18-centimeter wavelength transitions of the OH radical. He had been a student of the Nobel laureate Charlie Townes, so Paul shares a pedigree of pioneering research with fellow students of Townes and Barrett. Paul and I first worked together on spectral line observations of interstellar ammonia. At that time, ammonia was one of the first few interstellar molecules known. After its discovery, several groups rushed to make observations of its emission at 1.3 centimeter wavelength from H2 regions and dark clouds. After a few years, Paul had led several papers showing that ammonia was a good probe of physical conditions in star-forming regions. He and Townes wrote a definitive article on this work in the 1983 annual reviews. I remember Paul gave a colloquium at Harvard with a tongue-in-cheek title, Cleaning Up with Ammonia. Paul was devoted to our MIT advisor, Alan Barrett. He helped Jim Moran and me organize a conference and a book celebrating Alan's career. After Barrett passed away, Paul was in frequent contact with Barrett's widow, Ginny Barrett. He helped raise funds for the Barrett Prize given by MIT each year to a promising astrophysics student, and he served on the selection committee for many years. After Erwin Shapiro became director of the Center for Astrophysics in 1983, he asked a team including Paul, Jim Moran, and me to investigate the feasibility of developing a sub-millimeter wavelength interferometer. This project became the sub-millimeter array, and Paul became the sub-millimeter array project scientist. This was a big effort involving technical design, engineering planning, proposal writing, and lots of meetings. It was also the beginning of Paul's pioneering career as a leader of international collaborations and institutions. These include the Sub-Millimeter Array Partnership between SAO and ASIAA in Taiwan, Paul's service as Director of ASIAA, as Director General of the East Asian Observatory, and as a prime mover in establishing the Greenland Telescope. I'm glad to add my voice to this conference, recognizing Paul's many contributions to international astronomy and astrophysics.
Hi, Ho-san. I started my research to observe ammonia emission from galactic center molecular cloud using NMA. At that case, your annual review paper, Ho and Townes 1983, was my Bible. So you've worked very hard for a long year, so many years. Best wishes to you and your family.
Hi, Paul. Hello, from Japan, Ryohey Kawabe. Paul, thank you for your great effort in promoting astronomy broadly in the world and also in East Asia. I worked with you for the ALMA for many years, with drinking beer and sake like this. I hope you could continue to enjoy astronomy and drinking sake, but be careful of gal like me. Bye.
You taught me so many things, both for science and for the entire life, that I'm really grateful for this. For the science side, you guide me in the difficult task of finding a topic for my PhD thesis. I arrived at the CFA with no data and no topic, and you just told me, okay, so just doorstep, knock on each door of the CFA and learn what the researchers are doing. And that's how I found one of my main research lines. Then, of course, you also taught us many things about how a good scientist must be. You must go deep into the things. Don't stop just at the surface, and try to understand very well what you are doing, what your data are telling you, and how you can explain your results. You also told me what a PhD thesis is. Essentially, it's a project where you do your best, carry it out. And I think that's an advice that applies not only for science, but also for life, right? These advices, you told me that you were also giving these advices to your own daughter and son, and they were really, really wise. I have kept them in mind all these years. So a big thank you, Paul.
Paul, it's really hard to believe that we're celebrating your career. I mean, time really does pass so quickly. You know, since about 1979, we've been on a dozen papers together. And the one I most remember is our 1985 paper on the cometary H2 region G 34.3 plus 0.2. That one was really special to me because I've mostly done VLBI over my career, where the sources are always known before the observations. So this was a real discovery and very important. I'm sorry I can't be at your meeting in person, but I will follow it remotely, and I'm sure it will be very stimulating. So congratulations on a long and outstanding career, and I suspect there will be much more to come.
Dear Paul, dear friends and colleagues that are participating in this meeting to celebrate Paul's many scientific contributions, as well as his leadership in guiding institutions and in guiding many young astronomers. I have been collaborating with Paul for more than 40 years. I remember that one of our first papers published in 1980, and in which Jim Moran was also a co-author, we reported in a region of star formation, Cepheus-A, the presence of outflow motions. This came as a surprise to everybody, because star formation was supposed to be characterized by inflow motions. After all, we wanted the star to grow by accreting material from the surrounding medium. It took a number of years for the community to realize that both types of motions are present. There is, of course, inflow motions and accretion via a protoplanetary disk, and at the same time, there are these outflow phenomena coming in the poles of the configuration. Over these 40-some years, we have published close to 100 papers and that have received close to 5,000 references. I have to say that Paul also has many contributions in extragalactic astronomy. In 1978, Paul and I were observing at the Five College Radio Astronomy Observatory, and we were having problems with the electronics, so we spent all the time running back and forth between the receiving room, the antenna, and this was a very exhausting working session. But fortunately, we obtained the data, and this was published eventually, data of molecules in regions of star formation. Another more strange anecdote is that in 1980, Paul was visiting me in Mexico City, and the process of naming the new director of the Institute of Astronomy of the National University was going on. And I was not supposed to play any role in that. I had just arrived. I was a radio astronomer in an institute mostly of optical astronomers. So I was hoping to work with Paul, but things developed in such a way, and Paul remembers this very well, that I ended being named the director of the institute. So Paul has to go back to the US without much work finished. But this was one of the many great times we passed together. Well, let's keep collaborating and finding new things in astronomy. Greetings to all.
Paul, this is Lao Zheng. I may be the oldest person sitting here, and the earliest one to meet my friend Paul. I entered the radio division of CFA as a visiting scientist in spring 1982. Paul came in a bit of late, about September, as an assistant professor. I know a little about interstellar astrophysics from books, and never touch observation and data processing with the VLA. Paul is a good and patient teacher, and guided me to ammonia line observation toward massive star formation, OM1, uses the VLA. We found a rotation molecular core with 11 kilometers per second per PC. This is the first time to detect the rotation in the massive core. The result published APJ 1985. It is useful the investigation of massive star formation, also useful my future work of Masa VLBI astrometry. In 1991, Paul encouraged me to write an article of radio synthesis array to New Technique, a magazine of Central Research Institute in Taiwan. The article published in the magazine 1992, generally as a cover guard article. If I remember correctly, he was planning the development of radio astronomy in Taiwan even earlier. The Paul also encouraged me to translate Frank Xu's book, The Physical Universe, from English to Chinese. I and my friend Professor Xiao talked about 2 years to finish the translate. My friend Professor Li converted simple Chinese to traditional Chinese. This is Frank Xu's book, Physical Universe. They are translated book. The book becomes an important teaching book in astronomy department in Taiwan universities. Paul is very concerned about the good student training and their exposure to the frontier of astrophysics. He is instrumental in bringing Taiwan to join the SMA. It's an honor and a pleasure to work with you. Thank you to many years of friendship and happy retirement. Paul, this photo when I left the CFA. That time, we are very young. It passed 40 years. We meet Boston and Nanjing many times and never go sightseeing together. Now we have time to see any place. I suggest you and me to bring Israel and Zofen to visit Tibet.
All right.
This is AI Robot. I auto-generate a conclusion for this video session. Paul is a human being, too nice. And since nobody really believes he will ever retire, let's cancel this conference. Let's eat. Over.
I want to say thank you to everybody who sent us the video message. So we're gonna give you all some videos, not you. Yeah. And we also ask many people to send us their pictures as well, photos, including some this analog one. Sometimes they're gonna scan those things to send us. But anyway, so we made a slideshow based on we cannot show everything, but we have been in the short version. Now we can show the slideshow. The one you almost opened at the beginning. Alright. Okay, so this is the end of this morning session, and I think we have an announcement from the LLC before you leave.